What's up, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goze delivering another MMA superstar your way. This time it's Tim Means, UFC welterweight. He fights at UFC 255 against Mike Perry. I overheard him earlier, pre-interview. He said something about the word violence. Yep, that's the perfect word for this matchup. Tim, how you feeling? This is a different time to be doing a camp during the pandemic. Is it a normal camp, or have you had to do some stuff outside the box?
Everything's been pretty normal. Making sure all the trainers come in are healthy and safe. Make sure we're not taking things back home to our family. Weight cuts going good, so lots of rounds, lots of uncomfortable situations in practice. So I'm excited for next week.
Are you in any way a Mike Perry fan? This guy's kind of like, how can I say, a controversial cult-like figure, similar to like how a lot of fighters were fans of Masvidal because of where he came from, the types of fights that he used to do or whatever. I feel like the Diaz brothers, Mike Perry, certain guys kind of have that, So what are your thoughts on Mike Perry overall as a fighter and what he brings to the UFC, kind of like that street swag?
I don't know about a fan. Knowing Mike behind the scenes, knowing the guy, what you get on camera and off camera is who you're going to get. It's who he portrays on TV. So I respect the originality of the guy. That's who he is, and it's not a front. Exciting fighter, guy that comes and gets in your face, tries to hurt you. So he's not a guy that you have to go look for. He's going to meet me in the middle of the octagon, and we're going to figure out who the better fighter is and who the bigger dog is. So with that being said, we were talking about violence earlier, and this will be a violent fight, so I'm excited for that.
And by the way, I haven't forgotten when you were in studio and you told us about that rough upbringing in Albuquerque as well. One could throw the Dirty Bird in there into that group of BMFers for sure.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of us that could fit in that category. So this will be my 23rd fight in the UFC, so it's been a long time coming to be on a main card. I lost my main event spot due to that supplement issue, but I've been fighting my ass off in wins and losses, and it is what it is. People talk about my fights, whether it's a win or a loss. People talk, and I'm just happy to still be on the roster and still getting to do what I love to do.
You mentioned your 23rd fight. Did you ever think when you started that you could make an actual proper career at the highest level out of this, or were you just winging it at the time?
I think winging it was the best way to describe it. I was getting ready to quit mixed martial arts at the time. I'd won my third belt with King of the Cage. The days were rough. I was getting ready to go talk to somebody about another job, and the UFC called on 10 days notice, and I was like, we'll give it another try, see what happens. And it still hasn't been just an easy paved road. There's been rocky roads throughout this whole time, even with the UFC. But I get to get up every morning and punch the time clock I want to punch, to go to work when I want to go to work. A little bit differently when you have a guy standing across from you trying to kill you, so you need to make sure you get that training in and make sure you're not cutting corners that way. But life's been good. It's panned out, and it's been fun. It's been a blessing. I've gotten to go all over the world, check out some cool places. I'm just a small town kid from the East Mountains here in New Mexico, so I've got to do a lot of cool things with my life so far.
Tim, this matchup in general, when you really break it down, you're a very, very technical fighter, and he's kind of like technical violence. I don't know. When I look at it, I just go, wow, this matchup is just so tailor-made for you. When you heard that this guy was going to be your opponent, were you salivating? I mean, is this something that you really, really like, just this particular matchup in general?
Yeah, it was a yes right away. We had a couple other fight offers on the table. I was looking to fight November 14th or tomorrow, I guess. So that was the fight that had been offered. So when they came back, it was like, hey, Mike Perry, the 21st. I just thought, heck, I get a little bit more time to cut some weight, and we get to have a fun-ass fight. And a guy that truly likes to fight and get in there and come after you. So, yeah, it was a no-brainer. It was a yes on our end right out the gate.
I know that some fighters that we've had on the show have said they do think like this way, and then some have said, I have never even think about that. But when you hear a name like Mike Perry and your guys' style, I automatically I automatically say it's fight of the night for them. Somebody's got to take it away from them. Do you ever think about that when you're looking at matchups and go, man, I could probably get that $50,000 bonus if I fight this guy?
Yeah, it's every matchup I've ever had going in the UFC. I think fight of the night has been billed every time I'm on a card for my fights. It's you have to think that way because that's the way you get them extra checks. And $50,000 6 weeks later hitting your bank account is a super nice thing. So I think if we're thinking any other way, we're just kind of going through the motions and going through the routine or whatever of just barely trying to get by. So if we have those goals and those extra paychecks in the forefront, we're going to try that much harder.
You know, Tim, we're in different times now where some of the fighters that we've spoken to said, you know, because of everything that's going on, their camps seem to be more individualized, almost like in boxing. You know, everything's just tailored to one guy, and they don't feel like they're really using the team as much because it's harder to get everyone together. Are you experiencing that? Does this feel like more of a tailor-made camp just for you? And if so, do you enjoy that?
I've always had the one-on-ones with coach and the broke down times or whatever, and then we bring guys in that are made for my opponents. Just right now, we're having to do extra COVID tests and make sure that the guys that are coming to the gym, we are safe. And like I said earlier, we're doing our best not to take things back to our families and trying to stay on the up and up, following safety protocol. Here in New Mexico, we have a governor that is very strict with our ability to go out and eat and just the safety protocols that are going on. We have another update that's probably going to lock us down to at home. So as long as we can get the practices in and we're safe and we're protecting our families and all that, all for it. But we have to think about our health as the front runner of this. Fights will come and go, and our safety is the most important thing we got to worry about.
Two-part question, Tim. Do you think before you retire you will fight either Carlos Condit or Diego Sanchez? And can you update us on the status of the gyms? Do you guys get along, or is there a rivalry? It's been a while since I've really heard too much about, anything going on with the gyms in Albuquerque.
Yeah, Carlos and Diego, that fight won't ever happen. We've brought it up a few times. No animosity, just those are fun damn fights. You know what I mean? But there's so many guys in the roster anymore. As of the gyms having a rivalry, I know so many guys from over there. Very cordial with them. I went to school with John Dotson and these guys. Nothing but respect from my end. I'm one of the guys that's been around since before we were even fit. We were Jackson's guy, Jiu-Jitsu West. So we were part of Jackson's team. No animosity. It is what it is. I don't train with those guys not because of a rivalry. I don't train with them because this is a business, and a lot of those guys are in my weight class. We gotta worry about hurting one another when we're fighting, and it's hard to hurt brothers and friends unless they've stole your food or something. But nothing but respect to those guys over there. No animosity. This is strictly business.
Last question, just to put a smile on your face, hopefully, I don't know, on the way out here. Thanks for the time. Always appreciative. But in any of the previous 20 Halloweens, have you ever put on a number 12 Patriots jersey or a Buccaneers jersey and just shown up and said, trick or treat?
I have not, but I do get the Tom Brady look-alike deal at the airport. The news here, it's all the time with Tim Means looks like Tom Brady. And I would just like to say Tom Brady looks like Tim Means. I think he's a little bit older, but that guy, it's crazy. He's still playing top of the league the way he is, winning Super Bowls, and the dude's just an amazing athlete. But I've never been in for Halloween. The closest I've gotten is like Napoleon Dynamite, so that's about the closest.
Nice one. All right, Tim. Thanks for the time, man. We appreciate it. I hope the rest of your camp goes safe. Same as well to your family. The lockdown, like you said, I think it's going to be nationwide, so we all just need to be careful, and can't wait to see you fight at UFC 255 versus Mike Perry.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Stay safe.